Welcome to Broad Ideas. I'm lively today.
Welcome.
You are.
Yeah. Today we have Olivia.
We have Olivia Allen joining us.
Yay!
We got Robin and Hat. Woo! No, we have Katie Stevens, who I think she first started on American Idol. She was on American Idol, but Olivia knew her. You were in class with her.
Acting class.
Acting class with her.
Yeah.
And then she went on
To the Bold Type.
The Bold Type. Yeah, she has been working, and what a beautiful
She
little
has
soul.
been working.
She's been
I meant beautiful little soul, new mommy.
Yes.
And we talked to her today and would love to welcome her. So let's talk to Katie.
Sometimes when the world feels insane, you can take a little peek inside of Rachel's little brain. All these thoughts are swirling round and round inside. So join us on this journey as we take a little ride. We'll talk about dogs and kids and things. We'll talk about chicks and tampon strings. We'll talk about boys that'll make you cry. We'll talk about death, 'cause people die.
I mean, I was in class starting when I was like 17,
Yeah.
18. And then I met my husband when I was 21.
Okay. So, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
talking to you and you saying like you met someone in Nashville. Did he live in
Yeah.
Nashville?
No, he lived in LA. And then after like close to the end of our first year of dating, he moved to Nashville. And I was like, well, I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had nothing to do here, but I was just like, I am in love. And so I moved for love.
I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Like, how do you feel? Did that change for you after getting a TV show and like having success? How did it feel to go back to an acting class? Or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that acting is a muscle. I think that we're always learning ourselves, and you go through so many life experiences that change who you are as a person, change how you deal with your emotions. And so for me, I feel like I always need class because I'm always learning something different about myself, especially now being a new mom. Like I'm exploring kind of how that's opened me up in a new way.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's like brings a whole other element to things. How old's your child?
She is 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
She's a baby.
You are in
She's
it. A
a
little
baby. Yeah, it's funny.
Oh.
Everybody says like every month that she turns, everybody says like when she was 3 months, they're like, oh, you're getting to the fun part. And then month 4 and 5 were still equally as hard. And then people are like, oh, she's 6 months, you're getting to the fun part. And I'm like, when? I mean, I'm
When
having
does the fun begin?
I'm like, when does the fun? Because I'm still really tired and really like spread pretty thin. So when does that fun start?
Oh my God.
Yeah. When did it start for you?
I'm still waiting. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, it does. You know, I think that I want to say like 9 months. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, it seems like 9 months is good because it's right before they're mobile. And so
Like
you
walking.
you can like play with them and you're going to get more interaction and all that fun stuff, but you don't have to like shadow them every step of the way.
Oh, crawling. I guess crawling is 9 months. I was trying to remember. It's like your brain
Shuts
totally
off.
forgets that. They're like, well, how old was your daughter? My daughter's 8. How old was your daughter when da-da-da? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. Like, it's just,
It's all a blur.
it's all a blur. Yeah.
I'm at the point right now where I'm waking up in the morning and on the monitor, I'm seeing her like completely turned 180 in the crib. Or the other day I woke up and she was like flipped over on her stomach, which she hasn't really been doing on her own yet. So then it's like I bust out of bed in a panic. So I'm in that phase.
You know what? It's not fun. It's not easy. It's like so scary, right? Like they give you this baby and they're like, okay, bye. And then you have to keep them alive. And then you hear all these things like, don't let them sleep on their side or don't let them sleep on their stomach. And you're just like, what am I
There's
supposed
always so
to
many
do?
rules. You know, and my daughter was in my bed with me. And you know, everyone's like, "Oh my God, like no baby in a bed, no co-sleep. Like that's insane," or whatever. And then as you become more comfortable at being a mom, you're like, "Well, I do what works for me." And I can shut off all that other noise because so many people are going to give you opinions, but everybody's different. Everybody's dynamic's different. Now, my 8-year-old still enjoys being in my bed, so maybe I could have done something a little differently, but it's just like that worked for me. And she was there, and that was the only way I got a little bit more sleep because she was right there, boob and mouth. Like, you know, it's just whatever.
I mean, that's
Works.
kind of what I've learned. I have so many friends here in Nashville that have had kids before me or now having kids after me. And the more I hear their stories of the way that they do things in their house, it's like everybody like finds their own thing. Everybody figures out what's best. There's no one size fits all for every person. Cause I feel like, you know, what works for one baby, then I hear my friends give me that advice. I try it at home. It's not working quite the same. And so I have to figure out my own way because I have a different baby. But yeah, I mean, you have to shut off all the noise. That's kind of, I mean, I've been kind of MIA on social media to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's so much there.
There's so much there. And also, there's so little attention to that time being so fragile. I feel like your nervous system is shot. Your hormones are different. You're now responsible for a life. There's a mourning process that I went through of like mourning who I was before having a baby. Have you been experiencing that?
Oh, yeah. That was something that no one really had talked to me about. And I went through it when I was pregnant. Like, I think I was like 7 months pregnant was the first time that I was kind of going through it. And that was also in relation to the comparison game that I was playing with myself of, you know, looking at friends of mine who were booking big jobs or were doing these things. And I was like, well, I'm too pregnant to book anything. And, you know, I'm just, you know, taking this time off right now. What if there's nothing for me after this? And so I kind of had that part of the grieving process. And then postpartum, I definitely went through my bout of postpartum depression. And within that was me kind of grieving the fact that the person I was 9-10 months prior is someone I'll never meet again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you had a
so
little
emotional.
of that. What did it look like for you? Just if you're open to talking about it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm pretty pretty open. I mean, it was different every day. I think, you know, initially it was just the shock of, like you said, you get sent home with this baby, which is incredible to me that we have so many tests when it comes to certain responsibilities. Like you have to pass a driver's test to get your license.
Right.
You have to, you know, you have certain ages you have to be able to drink or buy a lottery ticket or rent a car. But no, you can have a baby at any age and they'll just be like, cool, good luck.
Yeah.
You have to keep this thing alive. And I've always wanted to be a mom, and I've always known that that was something I was going to be good at. Like the one confidence I have through all of this is that I do think I'm killing it.
Awesome.
I love that.
But that being said, I just am a person that has an allergy to asking for help. I don't want to, I feel like, you know, I can do it all. And I feel like I'm inconveniencing people if I'm asking for help. And so that was something I struggled with as a new mom was, you know, all the people that say, let me know if you need anything. I wasn't taking anybody up on those offers. Because some of them have their own kids. Some of them don't have kids. And so, you know, I would see photos or videos of my friends without kids. And she knows this story, but Megan had done White Lotus. And like 2 days after I gave birth, she was at the Emmys looking like the star that she is. And she was so gorgeous and they had won and I'm watching it and I'm like crying and laughing at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was looking at her and I was like, she's so beautiful. And I'm here in a diaper.
It's hard.
But it was like a really like weird out of body experience. And, you know, I was comparing myself not just to her, but to like so many people that I've either worked with in the past or that I'm friends with who are working. And it was all kind of really related to work.
Yeah.
And I think that I've always been such an independent person. And I've always, you know, my husband and I have been together for almost 10 years. And, you know, he was a touring artist. And so, you know, he used to understand when I had to go away. And so I kind of lived this somewhat independent life. And I think that losing my independence and kind of having this moment where I was like, I don't feel like a person who has their own job or their own agency. I don't feel like my husband's wife. I don't feel like my friend's friends.
Mm.
And so it was really like this identity crisis that I was going through. And, you know, I went to therapy a lot. And my therapist was like, you need to ask for help. You need to find something that makes you feel like yourself again, even if it's just one thing you do a week that you can go and do. And so acting class was that for me.
Oh,
Amazing.
wow.
Getting back to be able to go to class and do something that I felt good at. And then when it came to the comparison, my husband looked at me and he was like, you keep comparing yourself to all of these people, but you're comparing yourself and are jealous of just one part of their life.
Right.
Whereas they probably look at you and they are jealous of what you have, which is your daughter or your marriage or, you know, whatever it may be. And he just reminded me, you know, you're only, and I don't even want to use the word jealous because I feel like it has a negative connotation. So I'll use desire. You desire to have just one part of someone's life.
Yeah.
When you're envious of somebody, it's never of every aspect. And so that was something that kind of comforted me to remember. And it's like, I almost hate talking about it because it's like, I don't want it to seem like I'm not happy for what everyone has. Cause you know,
It's so
they
important
deserve it.
though,
Yeah.
Katie. Like these are the conversations that make people feel like they can be honest. And that is
Yeah.
why we're here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, I knew that being a mom would be wild. And I said to my therapist, I was like, when she was like, why don't you want to ask for help? I was like, I don't know. But like, you know, why can't I do it? Why can't I do it by myself? Like single moms do it all the time. And my therapist was like, single moms do it all the time, but they would love to have help if it was available to them. Like they're not doing it on their own because they're like, I really want to do this on my own.
Right.
And there's a reason why they say it takes a village. So, you know, at that moment, I knew that the best thing that I could do for me, the best thing I could do for my husband, for my daughter, was to ask for that help. So, you know, my parents are amazing and they've helped so much. I've hired a nanny 3 times a week for just the mornings.
Good.
And, you know, I'm able to just like have the mornings to, like the grocery store is my favorite place to go.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah. It's like
That is
love-
my Vegas.
Yeah. I love the grocery store. And that's the other thing is I never want to be so successful that I can't go to the grocery store, you know? I think about like people like Taylor Swift and I'm like, she can't go to the grocery store. I would never want that.
Oh my
Right.
God. That's so funny.
I've thought of that. That's like a thing.
It is a thing, but you're so right.
Yeah.
It's just like you find solace in just going. I do really love it. And I have like way too many groceries because I like to go so much, but it's just a point of like being able to do those things. And I struggle with not being able to ask for help. And I am a single mom. And so, but my daughter's older, you know, she goes to school. So I do have time to like do those things. But for a long time I didn't. And I figured it out. And of course my mom always helped me, which is a blessing. But it's like, I keep learning these lessons too. I'm like trying to find time for yourself. So I hear you say that. And I'm like, that's a beautiful message. Like you did something for you. You have your mornings, whether it's the market, you can take a bath or I don't know, whatever, you know, It might
All
be
of the above.
Yeah, watch The Price is Right. No, I'm just kidding. It's just,
I don't know if that's still on.
It is.
Is
I think with Drew Carey, but Bob Barker passed away
yeah.
recently.
I know.
So I saw a meme that was like, "You're too young," but like homesick from school. The Price is Right is on, and Bob Barker's consoling you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just a shout
Reruns
out.
of that were on when I was little. For sure.
I took it on a weird turn, guys, but it's just the point of making time for yourself, and it's super important.
And also, what I like to say to people that have a hard time asking for help is, if it was reversed, how many times has someone asked you for help and you've been annoyed? Very little.
All the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, for the most part, like if any one of my friends would be like, I'm struggling, can you pick up my kid? Or could you do something? It would be an honor.
Right.
You'd be like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're never going to be like, oh, she asked me for help.
Right. I do feel like
know?
it's a community. It's a communal thing of women, especially if you're friends with them. They're obviously, you would hope, cut from the same cloth. And it's just like drop of the dime, if anybody needs anything.
Of
I think
course.
that's the beauty in it too.
Well, also, I'm happy to be talking to you guys because one thing that I'm struggling with in terms of my anxiety moving forward is thinking about going back to work with a young baby. And I don't have any friends who are working actors and mothers that I can like talk to in that way, because I'm like, I don't know what it would look like. Because, few and far between does stuff film in LA now. Well, apart from the strike, but few and far between does stuff film there where like even living in LA would be super beneficial to me. I feel like everything I've done in the last 5 years has been in Canada or
Elsewhere.
For sure.
elsewhere. And I'm just struggling with what it looks like to be as present of a mother as I want to be while going and working on set for 12 to 14 hours. Like I think about it and I'm thinking about how I would probably leave right before she wakes up and I'd be getting home when she's already asleep.
I will tell you,
it's scary to me.
I have a lot of experience with this. And what I will tell you is the anxiety is real as shit. Like I, was terrified. The first thing I went back and worked on was actually Nashville, which is funny. And my daughter was like 2, but it was just a guest star. So it was, it was way more manageable and we got to explore the city. It was great. The first thing I went back is full time. I waited till she was 3. I will say before they're in school, they can travel around with you.
Yeah.
You can bring people with you. You make it work. One thing I did for my daughter, she was a little older. She wasn't an infant. But if I was going to be gone when she woke up, like had to leave before she woke up, I would leave like a treasure hunt for her, like a map and like something she'd have to find. So to put like a positive association with mommy going to work, like, or, just to help.
Yeah.
So I would do that every morning but it's excruciatingly painful to know that you're not there. Yeah. But I had to learn that I was doing it for us, and it was hard. I'm not going to lie. It was really fucking hard.
Yeah.
But my mom was there.
Yeah.
And her dad was there, like the help was there and she had her support.
Yeah.
But what
I was going to say, and we came out.
You did come out.
I think it's about community too.
It's about
because
community.
We brought Briar to set and we would meet her for lunch and make sure to like.
You make it work.
You make it
Yeah.
work. I think the biggest thing about anxiety in general is if you're thinking about the future, you're in a fantasy, right? And so if you're going to have a fantasy, you want to win in your own fantasy.
That's my favorite.
And what does that
her sayings.
fantasy to you look like? Like, what does it look like for you to go back to work and having all the support you need and someone to bring her to set and like picturing a set where she's welcome and maybe there's other moms that have kids or
my
maybe,
daughter
like,
loves craft
if
service.
you're going to be in your fantasy, you might as well, paint it the way you want now. Right?
Manifest.
Yeah.
Manifest.
Because otherwise it's just fear and it's not real. The only thing that's real is this moment. And so you can either be in the anticipation of how graceful it's going to go. Maybe you're 4th on the call sheet, not 1st. right?
Yep.
Like maybe there's things that you want to create in your manifestation that are 100% in alignment with having a child.
100%.
Because it exists. Have you read Shonda Rhimes' book, The Year of Yes?
No.
I just love that she's a beast, right? And she's got so much work, but she's also a mother. And she talks about being a mom and like taking the time for her kid. And I know a lot of people have talked about like there is a movement with that inclusivity now for moms and their children on certain sets.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, the fact that there isn't like childcare, like all of that built in is insane.
It's stupid.
No, it's
sorry. It's ridiculous.
It's so upsetting. Like that's a whole other beast.
Yeah.
Broad Ideas is supported by Factor. With the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. I love how easy it is. Our days are so busy, especially with school back in full swing. Factor has been a lifesaver. Adjust your stride this autumn without missing a step. Choose from 34 plus weekly flavored packed, fresh, never frozen meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. Need an extra boost to support your wellness goals and feel your best as you tackle a busy autumn? Try Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. This September, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. Ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/ideas50 and use code ideas50 to get 50% off. That's code ideas50 at factormeals.com/ideas50 to get 50% off. Broad Ideas is supported by ZocDoc. You know that feeling you get when you finally find the thing you've been searching for on the internet? After spending hours researching and reading thousands of reviews, you find it. This thing, whatever it is, you know, I needed like a new pair of roller skates. Checks literally all of your boxes and it has 5 stars. Okay, so why is it that you can get the most random, wonderfully reviewed thing from around the world in just 2 days, but if you want to see a good doctor, it can take forever to get an appointment? Not to mention, how do you know if they're even good? ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition you're searching for. Go to ZocDoc.com/ideas and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/ideas. ZocDoc.com/ideas.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously haven't worked yet with a child, so it's not a bridge that I've crossed yet. But I mean, I can only imagine with all the other stuff that's going on that's unfair.
Right. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, but
you get to be part of that, and you get to, you know, have your boundaries and advocate for yourself and for your daughter.
Yeah.
And
mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I like to remind myself of is, well, I mean, first of all, I watched my mother my whole life. You know, my mom worked. She just was like, I want to open a woman's boutique. And then she just did it. And then she was like, I'm going to flip a house. And then she just did it. It's like, and she did it all while being like a mom to 2 kids. She cooked dinner every night. We had dinner at the table together. Like, she was present while still being a very hard worker. And not only that, I think about, you know, actresses that I admire, and most often they are mothers. So I know that it's possible and that you make it work.
yeah.
Kristen Bell, remember what she said?
What?
We talked to her about this, and she is incredible. And her attitude about it was so great. She said that she makes certain to let her kids know that I don't have to go to work. It's not like mommy has to go to work and I'm going to do this thing I don't want to do. I'd rather be with you. She's like, I'm very conscious to let them know mommy wants to go to work. I love what I do. It brings me joy. It brings me fulfillment. And I love being with you and all of that kind of stuff. So she's setting an example of someone who can do it and who loves what they do. And that's a role model for her children now.
Well, and also Drew Barrymore was quoted saying something like, she doesn't say I have to go to work. She says I get to go to work.
Yeah.
It's like the same mentality, you know?
Yeah.
I fail
And
at that
that's-
sometimes. I'm not going to lie.
In the past.
In the past.
Not anymore.
Well, I'm
No.
sure, but like two things can be true. You can want to go to work and you can also want to be and have to, and also want to be present with your child and still be there during the day. So I get that. I mean, I'm excited to hopefully set the example for my daughter of the fact that I am in a career that is something that is my passion, because so often, you know, how many people in the world get to pursue their dream and then live it out as a career? You know, not many. I mean, not that people don't like what they do, but what we get to do is fun.
I do notice talking to so many actresses too, though, and tell me if this fits for you. I think because so many actors know how blessed they are to have this as a career and that it's a fulfilling career and you can make good money and all those bells and whistles, that sometimes they're not as open about how hard it is because they feel like, oh, I need to just be grateful, or I don't want to be judged. I know people work really hard jobs that they don't want to, so I shouldn't complain if it's really hard for me to leave my kid. How does that?
I don't know. I mean, in terms of leaving her, I don't think that I'll have a fear about complaining, because you know, that's she's the best thing that I've ever done, hands down. And I think that that's going to be something that changes work for me in terms of jobs that I do want to take, because it's going to have to be worth me leaving her. But I do feel like that across the board, that sometimes if you're having a hard day on set, you're met with even people on set or the people around you saying things like, yeah, but like, look what you get to do. Like, smile. And I'm like, well, maybe I had a hard day. Like, I always try to be, you know, I always try to not bring outside stuff into work, because I think that there's like a time and place for everything. And for myself, not only just the people around me, I do feel like I need to be present with the work that I'm doing. But sometimes you can't help it. Like, a bad day is a bad day. A tired day is a tired day. And like, I think that you have to allow people to have their emotions and move through things at their own pace. And unfortunately, sometimes you get someone else on the wrong day that's going to walk off set and say something negative about you, or and you just can't control that. I try to operate on the notion of what other people think of me is none of my business, which is very hard. But
yeah. No, I know. The quote, sorry. The quote of like, it's none of my business what other people think of me is like my favorite saying that my mom always tells me, you know, and it's a hard one to practice for sure. But,
especially living in this day and age where everyone is going to tell you what they think of you online.
Oh my God. I know the comments and whatnot. And we talk about this all the time, where I had to train Olivia to just not to read them, because people get off on not being nice sometimes to make themselves feel better for whatever reason or whatever it may be. And I think it's just one of those things that you have to just tune out the noise if you can.
Yeah.
But, you know, the whole thing of, and I don't know, you know, it's these little people that we bring in here and don't want to fuck up is like,
God, I know,
a real
conundrum.
It's a real conundrum. Just think about everything like, how am I gonna talk to them about this? Or I'm gonna, how am I gonna frame this? Or how am I gonna leave? Or what's this? If I say it this way, is it gonna, affect them? And
it's so much.
It's so much. But if you put it all on your lap and you put it all in your brain, you're gonna literally go crazy. And you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna have a panic attack every day of my life.
Yeah.
And so it's just finding that. Actually, I don't have the answer. I mean, I have panic attacks every day over it, but
I don't think there is an answer.
No, there's not.
There's
that is
not.
the answer, that there isn't.
If anything being a mother has taught me yet, is now I look at my parents and I say, oh wow, you had no fucking idea what you were doing either.
Right. Exactly.
Like, we're all just figuring it out. And you know what? I think I turned out pretty okay.
You turned out great.
You turned out great. I think that too with my kids. Like, both of my kids are still sleeping with us. Elliot's going to be 8, Shepherd's 4. Okay. We play musical beds. Like, one will sleep with one. Like, it's just all over. And I was thinking last night, what are we doing? Like, is this like, are we screwing our kids up? And then I thought, you know what? The only thing I can do right. There's one thing I can do right in this life, and that is to love them wholly and completely. And outside of that, everything else is up for debate. Do you know what I mean? But if I can just do that.
Yeah. I mean, and it's so funny because I don't know if this rings true for you guys, but I feel like when you're pregnant and when your baby is young, you have all these things that you talk to with your partner about, where you're like, okay, and when they're older, we'll have this rule. And even just like in the infancy stage, I find that I'm like, well, I didn't follow through with that one.
Right.
And we say, because, my nephews are 11 and 7, I think, about to be 8. And or just turned 8. And they still sleep with my brother and sister-in-law.
Awesome.
And
yeah, we're like, would love to hear it.
Yeah. But my sister-in-law is always saying to me, she's like, we don't get time, just us as a couple.
No.
Right.
And so my husband came to me one day and he was like, should we have like a rule where like the bedroom is mommy and daddy's? And I was like, sounds great. And I already know, because there's nothing I love more than like my dream feed that I do with my daughter, where she's like asleep and she's in my arms. And I can only imagine like when she wants to sleep with me, how am I going to say no to that? I'm never going to say no to that.
The same thing, like best laid plans. Like, you can't, even like the birthing process. Like, everyone's like, okay, this is my birthing plan and this is what I'm going to do.
Luck.
And for me, I was like, I have zero plan. Whatever happens, happens. I'm going to go with it as long as she is out safely, healthy. I don't care what it is. Sure, I'll try no epidural. That did not last very long. But like, I had no set plan, and I think that's just life. If the more you have planned out, the more stress and fear it creates, I think.
I thought that I was like a changed woman when I was pregnant, because I am very much a planner. I love to plan.
Yeah.
Give me a dinner party, I'll plan the crap out of it. Vacation, I got you. But like when I was pregnant, I was very much like, I'm not going to have a plan. I probably want an epidural. I'm just going to do all the stuff that I can to prepare my body to do this crazy thing. And I did all the preparation. I had a doula. I had all this stuff. And then my daughter said, psych. And she was like, I'm not going to face down.
Yep.
And I found out that I was going to have a C-section. And I was devastated for about a day. And then I made the active choice to be like, well, this is just what's going to happen. So I might as well just decide to fall in love with this idea. So my husband was like, why don't we plan like a date day the day before, since we'll know when she's coming. And so we planned this whole day where we did memory lane of our life in Nashville. And we drove by like the first house we rented together, the first house we bought together, went to our favorite restaurants, all of this stuff. And you know what? At this point, I'm like 10 out of 10 recommend a C-section. It was awesome. I walked into the hospital at 7 a.m. At every moment, they were like, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. If this happens, this happens. At no point did I feel like I didn't know what was coming next. And within 4 hours, my daughter was in my arms.
Incredible.
And I had a really great experience. And looking back on it now, I'm like, oh, I got the birth that like was really appropriate for me because I am such a planner.
It's true. When you know when they're coming.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to go into labor.
Yeah, which at first I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to feel a contraction. And my friends were like, you don't want to.
You don't want
if you
to.
don't have to.
I had to do the contractions and end up in a C-section. So if you're going to end up in a C-section and you can avoid the labor.
Yeah, at this point,
all day.
My doctor has told me like, you've healed well, you'll be a good candidate for a VBAC, which is, a vaginal birth after a cesarean. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to try to be a hero. I'll probably just do a C-section again.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I'm like, it sounds more to each their own, but it sounds more traumatic to me to I've had a lot of friends who have had labor and then ended up in a C-section. And I just, I'd rather just know what's happening and know what I'm getting into.
Right.
Yeah. It's a humongous difference. Because I did my second one scheduled C-section. Well, we had to, but regardless, not going into labor first was really helpful.
Yeah. I mean, if you have that, if it all, flows and that's what's going to happen. I mean.
And that's the thing is that everyone should be able to do whatever they want without other people's
There's so much judgment around everything, just like we were talking about before with kids and in bed or TV or whatever the hell it is. And it's like, you got to do what's best for you. And that's just a life lesson, I think. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
It's a life lesson right there.
Yeah. Bigger picture, I just don't understand where judgment comes from. Because no one likes to be judged.
Right. So why are we
judging other people so much?
Because we're judging ourselves.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Right? We're judging ourselves. Our mind is set up. The ego is set up to judge. And that's to keep us safe. And so it does that constantly. And so when it sees the outside world as any sort of threat in any which way of its comfort, its job is to judge. And so it's just about us realizing, oh, you're just doing your job, right?
Yeah.
Right. You're doing your job.
It's just, your brain's just doing its job. But that's the same thing. We've talked a lot about jealousy and comparison and stuff like that. And I think that these are conversations that are so important to have because I think people stop themselves from being honest about it. And for you to say, like, I was in my diaper crying. And I mean, White Lotus was a fucking wild success, you know? And when you have someone that's on the same exact page as you, and then you watch them skyrocket in front of your face and you're healing from your freaking body being sliced open and like mourning who you were, I think it would be really sad if society expected someone to not have feelings of tenderness around like what that looks like to compare themselves to others.
But, I find a lot of power in being able to admit when I'm feeling jealous.
Yeah.
I remember like early on in my career, the first show that I ever did, my co-star got a call. We had both auditioned for the same thing and she got a call back and I didn't. And I remember her telling me about her callback and I didn't say anything rude. I just like didn't really respond. And then she walked out of the makeup trailer and I felt so bad that like in that moment I couldn't show happiness for her. And so I went and I knocked on her trailer door and I said, I'm really sorry that I did that. I was feeling jealous.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment. It was in that moment that I realized that like everybody feels this way and there's nothing wrong with admitting that because everyone feels it. Everybody has these moments of feeling jealous. And again, my husband saying you're only jealous of a part of a person really, I don't know, it just like blew my mind when he said that. And so even postpartum, like I had conversations with Megan and I said to her, I was like, I hate even using the word jealous because like, I'm not jealous in a way where I'm not happy for you. And she's like, I know. And she said, why don't you switch the word jealous to you desire? You desire to have to work on a show like that, or you desire to, whatever it may be, like jealousy doesn't need to be such a negative thing if you can claim power over it.
That's right.
I love that. I love that you were able to admit that you were jealous. I think it's just such a beautiful quality that is not easy. I have a hard time with it. Actually admitting it's vulnerable, and it's like,
very vulnerable.
but I think it's such a great example, and to put it out there that you could do that. It makes me be like, what have I been jealous? Who do I need to tell I was jealous?
You flow.
You're like, I'm right here.
I'm right here.
Well, it's, they say it's the thief of joy, but I think it's the thief of your own joy. It's the thief of other people's joy. Like, I feel like just admitting it, I just never saw there being like a negative result from me being able to admit that I was jealous of someone.
No, it's beautiful.
I think it's beautiful. And we've started to say, because jealousy has such a negative energy attached to it, I say activated. I'm like, that activates me, because what it does is it wakes up something inside of me.
You use that for trigger too.
I do. I use it for trigger too. Like, it's activating. Like, something in me is awake right now. And usually 100% of the times it's pointing to something that I want or that I'm craving. And so instead of making that negative, can we look at that and be like, I'm feeling activated. Like, I do desire this. Because most times when we feel jealous, it's our internal guidance system telling us, you want that. And like, instead of shutting that off and being like, don't be jealous, just be happy for them, you could also be shutting off your desire.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of when I was like younger, jealousy manifested itself in terms of attention from men or boys. Like, that's, if I could pinpoint the first time I ever felt jealous, it's like when you have a crush on somebody, but your friend starts dating them,
Of course. And we've all had that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's also an opportunity to learn about yourself. And I had to start asking myself, like, well, why do I need that attention? Why do I need that thing? And it makes you kind of hone into, is it something that you really want? Like, when you're jealous of somebody, is it something that you actually want? Or is it the tale as old as time that someone else has it, so you want it?
Well, yeah, but what is that, right? So there's something in that. And I like what you're saying, because it may not be exactly what they have, but there's some element. And even if it is just the attention, then go into that part of yourself. What I try to do with that is be like, okay, that's inner child work. Like, there's a part of me that is deeply needing to be seen. And can I give that to that part of me instead of expecting it from the outside world? Like, can I pivot and be like, oh, I get it. You want to be seen.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, oh man, we've gotten deep.
I know.
From the get-go.
Yeah, we don't mess around.
We didn't come to fuck around.
We could lighten things up a little bit.
Oh, but if you want to fuck around, let's do it.
let's fuck around. What Sex and the City character are you?
Oh God. My honest answer, or who I wish I was?
Only honest.
Well, I want to hear both.
Yeah, actually, good call.
I don't think I'm full Charlotte, but I probably have Charlotte tendencies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little, I'm type A, and I'm very much like, I just notice Charlotte kind of like when somebody has a problem, she's like, well, what is it? And we need to fix it. And and I am a little that. Not as pushy, but I guess that would be, I would love to say that I'm like a Carrie or as free and don't give a fuck as Samantha, but I guess that might be for another time in my life.
Or another whole life around.
Right.
Or another whole life.
Another lifetime.
Who are you?
Who am I? You know, my friend told me the other day that her and her husband were sitting around and talking about Will and Brandy, and they were talking about her and her friends, and they said I was Carrie. I was like, fucking better say I'm Carrie.
Yeah.
See, I want to say that I'm Carrie, but I don't feel like if I no one can say, yeah, it's like someone else has to deem you Carrie.
But let me tell you something. Can I tell you what it was followed up with? They called me Carrie because Carrie makes bad decisions.
Who are you, Olivia?
I don't know because I would love to say Carrie, but I think I'm more, at least right now, I'm a little bit more ground. Like, I never thought in a million years I would say this.
But you're Miranda.
I'm feeling more Miranda.
I know
I'm feeling more grounded. I'm feeling more
Miranda's the fucking best.
Like, I'm just feeling a little bit more straight. Not that she was straight, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I guess I don't relate to her personality.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's pretty smart.
You just want me to be a Miranda so that you can stay in Carrie's position.
Yeah, because they're the bestest of friends.
Yeah, but you can also there can be two Carries
You're
for
not
different people.
You don't get to be another Carrie. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with it.
No, but this is real. This is real.
What I will say though is maybe I think that the reason that Sex and the City works is because you find a little bit of yourself in each one of them.
All of them.
That's right.
It's true. And that's the whole point.
So you know what? I changed my answer because I don't like my answer. I'm all of them.
Yeah.
I like it. You are.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Everyone has a Samantha Night in their past.
I've got a lot of Samantha Nights.
You have a lot of Samantha Nights.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell us what your perfect burrito is.
My perfect burrito?
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Rice. Black beans. Chorizo, like ground good chorizo.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese, sour cream, guac. And I want it to be like loaded, like big.
Oh, yeah.
Is there eggs in it with the chorizo or is it just chorizo?
And potato. I would take eggs in it. Like there's nothing like a breakfast burrito after a hangover.
True.
That's my favorite hangover food.
Okay.
Breakfast burritos are
fucking
bomb.
I want one right now.
Me too.
I'm hungry.
We're always hungry.
What are your deal breakers in a relationship? Or is this kind of, I mean, you're married. Well, sure.
No, I my mother taught me very young. Yeah, whatever, we'll go there. I did say to my husband Paul, like early on, my 3 deal breakers are if you cheat on me, if you speak to me like verbally abusive, and if you touch me in any way other than affection.
Those are 3 fantastic deal breakers.
Absolutely.
But what I will say is, and I almost hesitate to say this because it's not that I'm not giving permission because I would fucking break his legs. But being together so long, like if he had come to me and said, which he would never do, but if he would come to me and say, I was like hammered, I blacked out, and I kissed someone, and like I don't know that I could just be like, get out. Like it would break our trust for forever. But we've put a lot of work in. I think that it would be like a lot of therapy. This is another reason that I'm like happy my personal life isn't in the public eye, because I'm like, I like to deal with my marital problems on my own. I can't imagine it ever being blown up or, you know.
For sure.
Dissected and put on blast.
Yeah. But your point being like you've created this life with someone, you're 10 years in, you have a baby, they made a huge mistake. And not to say trust is broken, but like as you get older and as you gain, you know, life with a person, it does change a little bit, like your opinion on things, you know?
Well, I think also when you have children, it does change
What would
things.
you do if Jeff came to you and said that?
If he kissed someone, I think it would be different than if he slept with someone.
Right.
But if Jeff came to me and said he blacked out, I'd be like, we have a bigger problem because you're supposed to be sober.
Right. Yes, that
There
would
you
be
go.
the
That
bigger
would-
issue.
That would be an issue.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that Paul and I would forgive each other for sleeping with anyone because it is so out of character. Like it would have to be something intimate for it to even get to that
get
place
there.
with
Yes.
somebody.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's fun. But like also what a weird job do we have where like
I
Paul
know.
sits on the couch with me and watches something that I'm on where I'm making out and
It's
simulating
so
sex with
crazy.
another person.
It's so crazy.
But
Yeah.
it's different. It's
Yeah,
different.
he's
Is
also
it?
he's been on
Just kidding.
he's been on set. He's like met my love interests. He's like watched like not that he's been on set for a sex scene, but he just like knows the dynamic of set so well.
Yeah.
First of all, he's like the least jealous person in
That's
the world, but I'm also like he knows that it's the least intimate thing ever. Like people watch and are like, "Oh my god, you did a sex scene? How was that for Paul?" And I'm like, there's like 20 people in the room with us. It's not like this really romantic filming experience.
right.
Right. Yeah.
You can
It's
ask
not-
for it to be.
You can make it that. Is it me? Oh,
Yeah.
if you had to make a horror movie, what's the premise?
Well, I have made a horror movie.
Okay.
It was very fun. And actually it was the theme that I always thought of a horror movie. Like
oh,
my brother and I we would go to like haunted houses and we love haunted houses. But I was like, what's stopping some crazy person from coming in here and like actually making this real? Like when you're walking by and there's the
Yeah.
girl who's like begging for your help.
Yeah.
How do we know that's not real?
oh,
And that was the whole premise of the horror movie that I did.
how crazy!
That's so
Yeah.
scary.
Ooh,
it
I
was
just got
so-
creeped. I got
It
scared.
was so fun though.
so
like
fun.
scary.
I never
Oh.
used to like watching scary movies. And I always told Paul, like, the only way I'll watch one with you is the day I do one. And then
Oh.
I got cast in one. And he was like, yes.
It's like
We can watch
finally.
scary movies.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Oh, God. I feel like this is going to be very generic. But there was that movie on Disney Channel, Model Behavior, with Justin Timberlake. And I
Oh,
forget
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
actress's name, but where there's like two of her.
Okay.
And one of them is like famous and the other one's normal and they switch places. And so the normal girl becomes the famous one and she like falls in love with Justin Timberlake. And it was like the first time I've ever gotten butterflies. It wasn't even like him in NSYNC. It was him in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
But it-
got
but
cuter
it-
after NSYNC.
But
You're
if
like,
I'm
this was before
really,
NSYNC.
if I'm really honest, my first crush was John Smith in Pocahontas.
The animated.
The cartoon, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, that's why I'm looking at you. I'm like, wait, isn't that a cartoon?
Yeah, Pocahontas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, paint
There's
with all the
videos
colors
of-
of the wind.
Yeah, there's videos of me when I was 3 years old at the character breakfast in Disney World, and John Smith comes over to the table, and I can't even look at him.
You love
Oh my
John
God, that's
Smith.
so cute.
That's so
Yep.
cute.
That's really cute.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I can relate. I had a crush on Bart Simpson in 4th grade.
What? Wait, for me.
Wait, I need you to.
I'm dead.
I need you to say why.
I was obsessed. This is going to really date me. I was obsessed with the Bart man. I don't know if you know, The Simpsons had an album.
Yeah. I
Bart
remember
had
that.
a rap
Yeah.
called The Bart Man. Hey, what's happening, dudes? I'm the guy with the rep for being rude. Anyway.
Keep
there's-
going.
I know.
No, no.
That's
You
for
keep
another
going.
time. Another time.
My husband is obsessed with The Simpsons, and he has lots of tattoos, and he desperately wants one of those bad Simpson tattoos. Have you seen these?
No.
No.
Oh, they're like it's like as if a 4th grader drew Bart
Oh my
Simpson.
God, I love it.
and it says Bert Sampson on it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
He wants one of those.
That's cute. I was in 4th grade, to be
This
clear.
is the
And Bart
first
was
time
in
I've
4th
ever
grade.
heard
And I was
this.
like, well, he's in 4th grade. I'm in 4th grade.
Oh.
Yeah, he was a little shit. It all tracks.
I know it tracks so hard. I don't even know what to
Oh
do with
my
it.
God. Okay. What's the last thing you Googled?
I'll tell you.
Yeah. Lay it on us.
It's probably something about a
Baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can babies eat onions?
That's so cute.
We're starting solids right now. It's a journey, but
It
Oh,
is.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
I wanted to know.
I
Like
want to know
onions
too.
seems like something they shouldn't have.
Like they would burp
I don't
or
know.
something.
Or just like I try not to cut an onion around her
Because of her
Yeah,
eyes.
because I don't need her to cry any more than Charity does.
Yeah.
Has your husband ever tasted your breast milk?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
How did that
he
go?
said
Yeah.
it great. He was like, "Oh, it's kind of sweet." And I
It
was
is.
like, "Yes. Thank you." Yeah, he just straight up asked, and I
Great.
just pumped some into a bottle, so I handed it to him.
There
That's
you go.
so cute. Okay, what can you say at the dinner table that you can also say in bed?
It's salty.
That's a good
the
one.
best answer so far.
That is the best answer so far.
That is awesome.
That was really cute.
That was my gut instinct. I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh, right. Sorry, Mom. We like the honesty.
That nailed it.
Yep.
Okay. What is your love language?
Ooh. Words of affirmation and physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
But I give love in acts of service and words
Mhm.
of affirmation.
Aw.
I was
like
just
that.
watching, I'm really obsessed with garbage TV in my new momhood. And I'm watching The Ultimatum. Heard of it?
Oh, I have. I think I watched the first season. Yeah.
So it's crazy.
I have to get her
Um,
on all these shows, like Love is Blind, all that. I tell her.
Yeah. So The Ultimatum is basically like 6 couples arrive, and one person in each couple is issuing an ultimatum to their partner. So they want to get married and their partner does not. And so they have one night where they all break up, quote unquote, and they then have to date the people from the other couple and pick a partner that they want to go into a trial marriage with. And so they do a trial marriage with somebody from one of the other couples for 3 weeks. Then they go back to their original partner and have another trial marriage with their original partner for 3 weeks. And at the end, they have to decide if they want to be married, be single, or leave with this other person. It's crazy. But one of the guys was like he's talking with his partner about love languages. And she's telling him what she needs. And he's like, yeah, I don't think that like people need words of affirmation. Like I do acts of service, and that's how I want to be loved. So that's how I love. And was just not computing to him that the fact that like, cool, you have your love language of how
Right.
you receive it, but you have to love people in the way they receive it.
Right.
They're 2 different things.
Right. You're like, there's another person involved
Yeah, but it's
here.
also, I do understand that it's hard because I think we
Yeah.
do naturally give love in different ways. And when someone's like,
Mhm.
cool, I'm not really looking for that way that you love me that comes so natural for you. I would like this, right? It takes someone's whole consciousness to shift to be aware of that.
Yeah. That
Which
took
is
me
tricky.
a long time.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
That took therapy for me
Yeah.
to figure out.
Yeah. Because it's not natural. You're
No.
like, well, I tell you how beautiful you are every single day and how much I love you. And they're like, well, make the bed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's my husband.
Yeah.
Oh, if you could trade lives with any celebrity for a day, who would you pick? Sorry, did I go twice?
No.
I don't know. Meryl Streep, because I would just like to know what it's like to be that good.
Yeah.
Like she's Meryl Streep. She's incredible. But I just also really admire how like she seems seems to, because you just don't know, but she seems to have a very full life
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Right.
But she's also just like the most decorated actress of all time. And I would more so love to like sit down with her and like have dinner and ask her how she does that.
I would like to be in her brain, because here's what I'd want to know. I'd want to know if she doubts herself. I'd want to know what, like, that really under the hood, what's going on.
I'm sure everybody does, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine. But then when you're Meryl Streep, do you just kind of start to believe people after a while? You're like, oh, I really am truly gifted at this.
Yeah, I think that there's an element, though, of, and what I hear quite often is like a lot of people like to take the jobs that make them doubt themselves because, it's more to, take a bite of and to challenge yourself with.
Right. You gotta grow.
Yeah. I mean, I never even thought that I would get to where I'm at right now. I've just always bit off a little more than I can chew, and it's just landed me here.
Are you still singing?
I was just talking about this with someone. I sing all the time, but I had to make a choice like 10 years ago of what I was going to pursue because I was trying to put 100% effort into acting and singing. And I was spreading myself too thin, and I wasn't putting 100% into either. And so at the time I was working on a show. So I was like, well, this is working for me, so I'm going to do this. But I think at some point I will release music, but I'm thankful that I'm going to do it with no expectations, because at this point in my life, like, I'm not trying to go on a radio tour for promotion or go on a, 60 city tour. Like, I have so much fun performing in front of people, but that it's taken me a little while to adjust to the idea that that might look different. Like, it could be doing a Broadway show eventually. It could be doing a musical movie. It could be like, just as long as I can sing in general or release music and not care what it does. Like, I just want to not look back at my life with any regret saying like, oh man, I wish that I released music at some point in my life.
Yeah. What's your go-to song karaoke?
Ooh, depends on how many drinks I've had. Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson is high up there. Rolling in the Deep by Adele, if I'm trying to show off. But me and Megan, actually, one of our favorite things to do, because we both love to sing, we like to go to the Korean karaoke places.
Oh, yeah.
Where,
those are the best.
Where we get a room, but it's just the two of us.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And Aisha has yet to join, who was our the other one of the three of us. She's been in Australia every time that we've gone, but the three of us love to sing so much, and it's like we don't want to sift through sitting through other people singing. So that's just
this is
the
like
best way.
The most honest, perfect. I'm with you. That's so fun. I forgot about those.
I did too.
Oh, they're so fun.
And when we do our show in Nashville,
yes,
you can come sing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like,
or I'll take you guys to Santa's Pub. Have you ever heard of what that is?
No, what
is it?
So, Santa's Pub is a place here. It's like a double wide trailer that's a karaoke spot. All of the drinks are cash only. It's like $2 beers and stuff. And you go in, and the guy who owns it is Santa. And he looks like Santa, and you do karaoke. And you just like Ed Sheeran went there after he played like the biggest arena show ever and was just singing karaoke with random people.
That's
it's a really fun vibe.
So cool.
That's a great vibe.
Yeah.
That's my kind of vibe.
And is everyone in Nashville now? There's so many people that are in Nashville, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That were from
I feel
LA,
like,
I mean.
Oh, yeah. There's like a entire like crowd of people that I just feel like, I mean, I moved here 9 years ago, so I was a little before the big wave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But since the pandemic, a lot of people, I think just now with especially actors, everything's on self-tape. So I realized that even back 9 years ago, where I was like, most of my auditions are tapes. So why not live somewhere where I can afford like a backyard and a house?
Right.
Yeah.
Or where
Yeah.
I want to live. Like,
Right.
you're not
Yeah.
tethered to Los Angeles anymore, which is great.
Yeah.
A lot of
I mean,
people feel that
I
way.
do like I have such fond memories of living in LA. And that's, I think, for me, the beauty of going back as a visitor now is like I get to like hit all my favorite spots and it feels like a vacation now. And if I ever do have to work in LA or get to work in LA, I'll get to be there and it's familiar to me and nice. But yeah, I've definitely loved living in Nashville.
So cool.
Yeah. So cool. I mean, I got to say she hasn't been, so we're going to have to go. We'll come see
Oh
ya.
my gosh. Please let me know when you're here, or at least let me send you all of my favorite recommendations so that you can have
Oh, no, we'll let you
have-
know when we're there.
Yeah,
for
of
sure.
course,
Yeah.
for sure.
have
for
fun
sure.
beyond Broadway.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
You can't pay me to
exactly.
go to Broadway unless someone's visiting.
And then everyone
Right.
wants to go there.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's fun
Yeah, for
for
sure.
visitors.
For visitors.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well, thank you for being so open with us today.
Oh my
and
gosh, thank you.
Congratulations
for-
on your baby and all the newfound love and things that come along with it.
Thank you. And thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the podcast and I've obviously in prep for this, I've listened to many, many, many episodes. I was
Aw.
just listening to Gina Rodriguez's and I was like, so cute that she's talking about how she wants to have a baby and now she has one.
Isn't it? I know.
Oh, yeah.
We fell in love with her
Oh, yeah.
during that
She was
podcast. We're like,
incredible.
she is.
Is incredible. Yes.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. This
Thank
was so
you
lovely.
so much.
This
What
was
a treat.
amazing.
Yeah.
My husband got to watch the baby the whole time and I got to be down here hanging out with you guys.
You're like, this is great.
We talked about that yesterday. We were like, this is self-care. Like having these moments to connect and talk about the things that matters is self-care.
And like just talking to other moms. We got to stick together.
Yeah.
It's a crazy hood to be a part of motherhood.
It is. It
We're
sure
here
is.
for you.
Thank you.
Anything.
Thank
yeah.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
my dear.
So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Okay, guys. Okay, you guys. So, Olivia, I think Olivia's ovulating right now, and
What's up?
she has pain on just her
Well,
left
you can
side.
see it now.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
you can see,
You can see
what
her
she's going through.
ovulating.
You can.
I get that
Yeah,
some
like
months
right
when
here.
I'm ovulating, I can feel it, and it hurts really bad on the side that the egg is ready to like drop.
I've always heard
Drop.
that, but never experienced
How good is
it.
that music video of Far Side? Do you know it? Drop. It's such a good drop. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Anyways, we will look it up later. Point is,
Do you?
Olivia's.
No, I have no idea what she's talking
Are you
about.
kidding? Oh my
The
god!
way you're
Wait,
saying
we
it
can't-
sounds like Beastie
I'm not
Boys.
gonna
You
play
can't
it.
play it
I'm
because
not
then we'll
gonna
have to
play
take
it.
it down like Drake.
Okay, you guys. There's something that I've noticed on my Instagram recently. Okay, like you can go to see what photos you're tagged in.
Oh,
And I
Mhm.
go to my tagged page,
Mhm.
and there are very explicit sex videos.
of you?
Of you?
Oh,
No.
I see. I realize how that could sound because I'm like, I'm tagged in them. No, they're very explicit. I haven't like clicked on them because I'm like scared. I'm like, what is this? You know,
Right.
because I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I was curious. I'm like, oh my God, are they putting like sex things on my Instagram because of those quotes that are out there? And I started like freaking out. But then I went and looked at other people's Instagrams and they're everywhere. Okay.
It's like Russian bots doing it.
I don't know, but it's really weird.
So someone wrote me something about.
What?
I gotta find it. It's about like someone's pretending to be you,
Oh,
and
that happens all the time.
yeah, and offering like
What?
Yeah,
I
there's
don't-
there's always scam
yeah,
shit
there's
like
always
that
those
going on.
scams.
Okay,
where
well,
it's
anyways.
offering sex. I don't.
A
Yeah,
lot of
offering
people
sex.
are now being tagged with these like sex videos, and I want to know like why Instagram doesn't have a handle on it. Like it's weird.
Yeah, that's
It is weird.
creepy.
I think you can remove things, but I don't remember how to do it.
You just report it and then it
Yeah,
like, tags
report it
you.
and block it.
Oh, okay. I will be doing that after this. Thank you.
We have a neighbor that she walks her dog a lot up and down the street.
I think I've seen her.
That's the end of the story.
Yep. She's like late 30s, a single woman that lives in the apartments on the corner.
Yeah.
And I guess she walks up our street and there's this like old man that's always sitting out in front of one of the other apartment buildings that gives her dog sausages. And then she gets stuck having conversations with this man.
Yes.
And she told Natalie the other day that the last time she went over there, he brought up something about her being a sex worker.
Excuse me?
He thinks that she's a sex worker. And
what I want to know is this conversation that happened between this older gentleman and the young lady walking her dog.
Wait. I think I'm lost.
No, the man who gives her dog sausages, the last time they spoke was
he implied that she's a sex worker.
To the woman.
To the woman. And she got very offended and left right away.
Oh, yeah, that's offensive.
Yeah.
Well,
is it? I mean,
right.
It's a
Then I was like, well, is it or is it a compliment?
Way, but just, yeah, I don't know.
Well, here's why it's offensive is because if someone's not a sex worker.
She's not. She's a lawyer and like screenwriter.
Right. But the reason it could be offensive isn't because there's anything wrong with being a sex worker, but it's because if you're not someone who wants to be paid for sex and someone's trying to solicit you in that way, that could be offensive.
He was like asking about a friend and saying like, do you think she can get sex work or something like that? And then he was like, well, that's what you do, sex work?
Oh.
And
he was trying to get his friend a job in the field?
Something like that.
Or maybe he was like throwing it out there to see if it lands. Like, I'm looking for sex work. Like, that's what you do, right?
Or looking to pay for sex.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that she can take the bait.
Do you think he just hands sausages out as like a open invite?
Yeah, maybe.
Don't you?
Maybe that's his move.
That's how you find out, right?
Is that like a code?
Yeah, it's like, I gave you a sausage.
I gave you my sausage.
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
I kind of find that annoying. I don't like it.
Have you ever been mistaken for a sex worker?
Have I? Probably. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I feel like in youth, maybe. No?
I don't know.
Have you?
I'm not to my knowledge.
Have you been offered like
sex for money?
Yeah.
What is happening here?
Like Salt in the Brunine, like.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
He's throwing little sausages at Rachel. You can't see under the table.
No, but you're a public figure. It wouldn't be that weird if you got some like weird. I guess it probably would have been filtered before it got to you. But some sort of weird request that this like foreign royalty was going to offer you a lot of money to go to a party or.
Right.
Why does that have to be sex? Maybe they want me to sing.
Where are you? You're going out of town, Olivia. Where are you going?
I'm going to Maine.
Maine? What's in Maine? You got a wedding
no,
there?
Have you?
No. It's supposed to be beautiful.
Supposed to be. We'll see. A wedding. Yeah.
A wedding. That's what I assumed.
Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of Maine, I have a question. My kids' friends, like they're talking about sleepaway camps, right?
She said all my kids' friends.
All your kids' friends.
She's got one.
It's not true. They're going to sleepaway camps.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're looking back east, whatever. One was 26 days. I was like, no, absolutely not. Like there's no way. Also, my daughter probably wouldn't be like not be able to, but she doesn't sleep out. So they're gonna go to a 12-day one. So I wanted your opinion on like sending.
Where is it?
Well, one was in Maine. The other one they're looking at, I think, is in Minnesota or something.
You're going to be fine with her being across the country from you?
I'm saying that we're not doing it. I just want your opinion.
You just said you're doing a 12-day one.
I thought you were asking about sending Briar to that.
No, she's not. That's not.
She's not that type of girl.
I was shocked. Right?
Yeah, so
I was like looking at you like
29 was too long, but we decided 12 was fine in Minnesota.
I just wanted your opinion.
I'm not into it.
I don't think I would. And what age?
Like 9-ish.
Nope.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, I was just curious.
But I'm a little.
But to me,
Yeah.
the idea of like going back east, like Stella has done it 2 summers in a row, and Stella did it at 10 and 11, and like the idea of like going away to summer camp back east, like sounds awesome.
Well, I
That
think at a
sounds
certain
incredible.
I think
At
at
a
a certain
certain
I
age.
couldn't even do it when I was a kid. Like I went once and then I
couldn't
didn't go
do it
back.
now.
We know you got
Oh,
the
the
trunk. Yeah.
Yeah,
I tried to find a
sleepaway camp.
turquoise gold trunk.
Someone
For your
sent us a
birthday.
turquoise trunk.
Excuse me, a picture.
Picture. Sorry, not an actual trunk.
Like from Target from like the late 80s, early 90s.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
I
feel like it was
found
Target.
one, but it was a little too. It was more like a green, like a
Teal.
like a
Teal.
forest
It could have been
green.
teal. Oh, no,
Oh.
it wasn't forest green.
It's more like a forest green. It was a nice trunk.
Oh, you were gonna give it to me for my
It was
birthday.
going to be your birthday gift.
Oh, see,
Was.
that's
That's
thoughtful.
thoughtful. That goes back to what we were talking about last week.
It wasn't turquoise enough though. So then I gave
No.
up
Yeah.
and got you bagels and donuts instead.
That was the best thing ever. Way right to my heart.
So would you like? I feel like if I was going to send my kids on that, I would want to be back east as well.
Yeah, you know, I would have to stay there. Like,
Yeah.
there's no chance I drop them off and I'm in LA.
No, I don't even know how I would do sleepaway camp for that many
know.
days. I do think it's good for them.
It's great for them.
I do.
And it'd be fun to not have kids for like a month, right?
I don't know. We're so attached that like that amount of time, I'm like, what am I gonna do? But that's healthy. I need more time away. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Me and my therapist have talked about this. I know I
We
need
don't
more
talk
time
about it
over.
all the time.
We're working on it. But do you think that there's something wrong with that in any way? Or
No, not at
No.
all. I think it's great.
Okay.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I just feel like a little bit of a weenie that I'm like, no. But I also know my daughter and she doesn't like love sleeping
Yeah.
out. So I just don't know how that would be for her.
Yeah, the thought of that bamboozles you.
Yeah, it bamboozles me a little bit.
And then don't you have to and then I get into then I go dark.
Like what? Like what would happen at the camp? Like when they're swimming?
The tornadoes.
All of it. Like how they get there on the plane, on the thing.
Well,
like
you take them.
Yeah, you die
do.
together.
Okay. I thought they were.
Drop them off. You
Oh,
just
okay.
send them on a plane by themselves.
So then
No,
they
you-
fly to
You fly
Maine or
them
to
there.
No,
wherever. Okay.
you get them an Uber.
Wait, what were you picturing? Like you just send them on this
Like,
camp plane?
bye, you're leaving. Have
Here's
a
a
good
camp plane.
time.
They send for the kids.
Yeah, like they
No.
pick them up in a bus and
No,
put
you
them on a
drop
plane.
them off and pick them up.
Okay.
If you're staying nearby, I mean,
If you're staying
That's still-
nearby.
I did overhear my daughter talking about it with her friend. She's like, well, maybe I would try it for like a night or two, but then I would probably
Are they
wanna
all
go.
going?
I think a couple might do it. Next
Wow.
summer. Yeah.
next
Okay.
summer. Okay.
Yeah. Next summer. So in a year. But, you know, they're the ones that sleep over and they sleep out and they're more comfortable with that. I just, you know,
Right.
I know. It's like I would be like, okay, a trial run. Like maybe somewhere not far you can drive to and it's like a week one. And
They have
once they're a
great
little
ones
older,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, or sleep over at a friend's house first.
Or try to sleep at a friend's house.
Maybe that's step
Maybe
one.
that's where we start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
I know. I know, guys.
I don't know. I know. I don't know. I know.
That's our conversation. I don't know.
I know.
I know. I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know.
The thought of it's sweet though. Like you send them packages
Yeah, you
and they
mail them
open it and
things
like
but I will say mail is very slow. Even when you prioritize just regular mail.
2-3 days.
No, like I was guaranteed like a 2-day thing. It took like 5 to 7.
Well, depends which carrier you're using too.
What do you mean?
Like UPS versus FedEx
Right.
versus USPS.
Yes.
USPS has gotten pretty slow.
I was gonna say SPS was a little slow. Not to like say I'm not saying anything bad. Like, thank you for all of your work.
Ever since that election.
oh
Oh,
Lordy.
jeez. Reel it in. Reel it in.
Speaking of Reel In,
Yeah.
have you ever eaten there in Malibu?
Is there a
Reel In.
restaurant called?
I don't think
Yeah.
I
She's on
have.
her phone. We can't do this.
No,
No,
we can't. I was going to say
I'm
it's going to be
just-
hard
You guys,
Yeah.
because she can't online shop when there's
Yeah.
video.
you guys, I'm not online shopping. It's just that Briar's on her way home. And so that was a message from the mothers that are picking her up. I had to make sure. That's all. That's the only reason I checked.
Yeah, USPS gotten real slow.
This is
But no
really
offense.
riveting, guys.
No offense to any postal workers.
Like the real
out
inn
there.
in Malibu.
It's so good.
It's so good, she says.
You get to
guys,
pick your fish like in front of your face, you know?
They're alive?
There's things that are alive, I think, but then it's like
Oh,
a
I know what
fish
you're talking
market
about.
and
It's a
you
fish market.
order and yeah.
Did you guys ever go to like a Mandarin restaurant where you'd pick your lobster out from the tank?
No.
In Maine.
In Maine. Oh, not in Maine.
You're going to see it in Maine.
I'm going to see a lot of it in
I
Maine.
think I saw it on Martha's Vineyard.
Didn't we see it at the place we went to
I feel
when
bad for the lobsters.
I
We were in
didn't ever do
Canada?
it, but
Oh, yeah.
remember we went
Yeah,
to a
we went to,
restaurant and
Rodney's Oyster House.
yeah, don't they have the live
They
stuff
do.
there?
Rodney's Oyster House is great in Vancouver, everybody.
check it out.
Check it out. No,
Use
but
code Broad
lobsters, I
Ideas
always
when you're
feel
there.
so bad for the lobsters, you know? And, you know, lobsters, you think they mate for life, but I feel like that's been debunked. We'll have to check on that. But
I do think
do
I've
they mate
read
for life?
no, not that. That they live like pretty infinitely. The only way they die is from
Humans?
they don't die from natural causes, I think.
What?
I don't think they have
What?
What? It's just
I've read something about this. I don't know specifically, but I think lobsters
I'm gonna
from
feel
other
so bad
predators
about eating
or
they're like the killer whales of crustaceans.
this might
Wait, how
Let me-
long
let me-
can they
get
live?
eaten. Things eat
well, yeah,
them.
that's what I'm saying. That's not from natural causes. I
Not natural. It's not like their
Right.
heart just
they
stops.
don't age, or I mean they age, but their body doesn't deteriorate.
They don't need Botox.
Let me see.
Well, you know, like Phoebe on Friends are like, you know, they walk around the tank and holding claws.
I can't,
They're
I can't.
lobsters.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a myth.
Oh, what you just said is a
Can
myth?
you look
Yeah,
up
let's
how
put it.
many years
Can you ask-
lobsters live?
Or can you look up if they are soulmates and they
Are
mate?
they soulmates?
Well,
Are
I don't know if
lobsters
Google's going to be able to answer that.
Are lobsters soulmates?
If they mate for
Do they mate for life?
for life.
So, unlike people, as lobsters age, they do not weaken. They continue to grow and they feed as normal and reproduce. They can regenerate limbs if they lose them.
Dang.
Um,
Can you do lifespan for a typical lobster?
yeah.
Thank you.
I really
Lifespan.
want to know the soulmate thing.
Yeah, I don't.
But Google can't answer that.
What do you mean?
They
They'll
can
know
they
if
can
they
answer
mate
if
for
they mate
life.
for life, but how do you know that's a soulmate?
You think it's more like a
Oh, I
cellmate?
think there's yes, exactly.
All right,
I
male,
think there's plenty of people that mate for life that shouldn't even know each other.
male European lobsters live to 31 years old and females to 54.
Okay, that's not that old.
Lobsters can be bigger and much older. They can live over 100 years.
Wow.
This site says that estimated 40 to 50 years in the wild.
100 years. That's cool.
The oldest lobster is estimated to be between 140 and 150 years old.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oldest lobster ever recorded.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Now can you look up soulmates, please?
What? Lobster soulmates. Let's
People want to
see.
know.
You remember what I did to you?
Yeah. Oh, let's just tell this story.
It was a good one.
Oh, was it? Was
Yeah.
it?
What I need a better search. than-
Did you
Just put our lobster soulmates.
no, that
Tell me
lobster
what it
soulmates.
says.
Okay, our lobster soulmates.
Yeah, please. I want to know what it says. Are they?
Nope. While plenty of animals practice long-term monogamy, lobsters are not amongst them. Lobsters actually mate by a weird system of serial monogamy.
What?
It's not exactly a one-night stand, but it's not a lifelong commitment either.
That is very vague.
So they're very close to humans. Penguins mate for life, though, don't they?
I thought so. So I thought
Well-
ducks.
Should we just spend most of this on Google?
On what animals mate for
Yeah.
life?
I mean, that's probably the better search. Not just do penguins
Yeah.
mate for life.
We just keep throwing out seals, sea lions,
Which
otters.
animals mate for life?
Yeah.
Gibbons?
Okay.
What's a given?
Gibbon's a bird.
Nope.
Nope, it's a monkey.
Tree-dwelling ape.
I meant a monkey. Not
Swans,
primate.
wolf,
Wolf?
bald eagles, albatross,
Sorry.
Wolf, huh?
Wolf.
penguins,
Thought so.
beaver, barn owl, black
Barn owl.
vulture, coyote.
What?
Ew.
Coyotes do?
Seahorses?
See, now I'm going to feel bad about coyotes.
Because it's like
they're
someone's dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a woman.
Or chick.
Termites.
What?
Ooh.
And the dick.
What?
I'm sorry,
What's
what?
a dick? I love dick.
It's like some antelope-y looking guy. He's kind of cute.
A dick?
Oh.
Aw. Okay, well now, instead of being my lobster, you're my dick.
Whoa,
You're
look
my
at these-
dick. That's better.
Way better.
Yeah, we always
Dick
called
dick.
each other lobster, but now it's dick.
No, it's dick.
Now it's dick.
It's my dick.
You're my dick.
Yeah, so one day when we were really young,
Oh my God.
I don't know how old we were. She was
Like
probably like
19.
19. We were at this bar,
Mhm.
and Rachel's like, the next guy.
Wait, you guys were at a bar before you were 21?
We grew up in Los Angeles.
How
Bob.
did you get in?
Anyways, continue.
Any Huelhauser. She says, the next guy who walks in is my soulmate. So in walks Eric. Okay. I'm like, oh shit, Rachel, do you remember what you just said? And she's like geeked out because Eric already liked Rachel. It was
And-
already a thing.
Did you like Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we didn't know Eric was going to the bar that night.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't like we had plans.
By the way, I
and
did
like,
not remember this part of the story. I just remembered the phone thing.
no. So this is what happened. Like we didn't have plans to go with him. We were off doing our own thing at
And
a
he just
random
happened to
bar.
show up.
He happened to show up and he happened to be the next guy that walked in that door. And so we
Serendipitous.
freaked. We were like, oh my
shit.
God, Eric's your soulmate. So they start talking. She puts his number in her phone as soulmate. Okay. Doesn't put Eric, but soulmate. So then,
Did you not have his number yet?
No.
no, that was
But it
like the
was-
first night they exchanged numbers and like
But you were friends.
they weren't, no.
She was friend.
I was
Okay.
really good friends with him. He was at my house one night. Rachel was there. He walks in. He's like, what the fuck? You're the cutest thing I've ever seen.
What the
And like,
fuck?
he did, I think it was like literally, I think he was like, what the fuck? when he saw her face.
I don't remember any of
I do because I was like, right? And so they exchange numbers, flirty. She puts him in her phone as soulmate. They start talking, texting, like, every
There
time.
was texting when you guys were 19?
It was like you had to press like 10
Yeah.
times
You have
on
to
one
press
key
10
to spell out a
times.
thing.
Yeah. But then she was in the other room. So after a few weeks of them talking, I took her phone and I changed his name from soulmate to cellmate. And she fucking lost her mind. Because he called and she's like, cellmate? Wait, what? Like, why does it say cellmate? It never even crossed her mind that someone took her phone and changed it. And she was like, what is this? Like, what does this mean? And she lost it. And I was
I had
sitting,
no idea.
she had no idea. She
And
was
you
like,
never talked to Eric
she
ever
basically
again.
was like, is this an omen? Like, is this a sign? Like, how did it just change?
And she's fucking in the corner, just
Dead. Dead.
chuckling her little face off.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
so then we started calling him her cellmate.
Yep.
Did you guys date for a while?
No.
No.
Not that long.
Not that long.
No,
I
was
shouldn't
it-
have
Very
changed
Wait,
long
wait.
your.
time.
So he wasn't your
He
soulmate.
took a very long time to even like kiss me. I
That's
think
what it was.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that what it was?
Yeah.
It
yeah.
kind of got friend zoned because he took so long.
I think he was like trying to do it right with her. And Eric was not the guy that did it right. Like,
Well, and
he also
as-
hooked up with all of our other friends, like all of them. But then it's good because he ended up with our friend for years.
Yeah, years
so it
and
like worked
years.
out.
Yes,
to be the right
It all
thing.
worked out. He stayed in the friend group, however, but it worked out. But
Yeah.
it's true though. Don't you find that like if someone doesn't, you start to be like, "What's up?" You know?
Absolutely.
It was like a very long time.
Jeff almost did that to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Didn't you like say something?
I said something.
Yeah. What'd you
Yeah.
say?
Well, when he first finally kissed me, I said, thank God now I can be affectionate. Because
Oh,
I didn't know
yeah.
how to be with him.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
are we friends? Are we? It was, to me, it was like too long.
Yeah.
And then finally he kissed me. And then he said that he wanted to make sure it wasn't too long.
Yeah.
Because I think he had done that before to someone.
Mm. Interesting.
Have you done that?
I don't know.
Rob's like, guys, go for
Haven't
it.
you don't know if you friend zoned anyone before?
Probably.
Has someone friend zoned you?
Probably.
Are you feeling timid?
No, it was a long time ago. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Did you and Natalie start off as friends?
Yeah, but she had a boyfriend.
Oh,
I see how you work.
Salty little minx.
So, yeah, we were friends.
You know what I find incredibly aggravating? When people are passive aggressive.
Hate it.
Like, if there's something you want to express it.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
And I feel like someone who's trying to maintain a positive relationship with you, when they come at you with passive aggressiveness, it just makes you want to go further away. Will you agree?
Yeah.
Do you keep anyone in your life who's passive aggressive?
Well, I think everybody can have an element of.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Do you think I would imagine
I'm
at
sure I have
times
moments
you're
where
passive
I'm
aggressive.
passive aggressive.
You were super passive aggressive with me.
I am
What?
not.
No,
I'm-
she's
I'm
aggressive.
I know, with me. Yeah.
She's aggressive with you.
Yeah.
She doesn't hold anything back. She'll be like, Rob.
Yeah. No, I think there's certain people, but I also think does that borderline eggshell patterns.
Yeah, I feel like I try to move away from those people in my life, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really feel strong to nurture relationships with people that are really passive aggressive.
Yeah, I think
Do
that's.
you call people out when you
It depends.
feel them being passive aggressive?
It depends on who it is.
And
I
the
feel like it's a
circumstance.
real strong personality trait. Like you have to work really hard to undo that. And typically the people that are really passive aggressive aren't ones who tend to take self-responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard to change if you
Like
can't
I think
take
passive aggressiveness can go hand in hand with someone who might, have narcissistic tendencies or
victim mentality.
all of it. Like I
Mhm.
think it kind
Martyr.
of goes, yeah.
What forms do people do passive aggressive things that have turned you off from them?
I
Do
think,
you have examples?
Yeah, I think that in like the past, like certain relationships where
Mm-hmm.
like somebody can't just be upfront, I don't think that's attractive.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So they try and send signals for you to get it, but then they're disappointed when you don't.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No.
That's
I
what
don't-
bothers me
I
is
don't
it's
like
not
that.
fair.
Yeah.
Don't set me up to fail,
Yeah.
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Just be open and honest and transparent. Even though it's hard for me to do, but I don't do that. You know what I mean? Or I just won't say anything.
I remember I've lived with a lot of people in this one house, like a lot of roommates and a lot of stuff like that. And I remember this one roommate like left cleaning products out, but like it was so obvious because they didn't use them, but it was like, I'm going to
Ah.
leave these out so you'll clean. As
You particularly,
opposed, yeah,
you're messy.
I'm not messy at all now. I probably was when I was young, but I remember it being like, that's fucking obvious.
Right.
Like instead of doing that, just say, hey, would you mind cleaning up? Or would you do the dishes?
Right.
Or say something instead of being like, I'm going to put these here. You know?
Yeah.
That's
No,
annoying.
That's passive aggressive.
Yeah.
How do you balance that then, being a people pleaser that won't confront someone? You just swallow it and be like, well, I guess this is how it
Depends
is.
on who it is.
I know how she does it.
How
How
does
do
she
I
do
do
it?
it?
You give your answer and then I'll
I just said it
say if
depends
it's
on
true.
who it is.
because she's not a people pleaser with the people she's actually close to.
Got
And
it.
so if she's close to the person, she's not going to shy away from confrontation. She'll say it. It's the people she's not close with that she does the people pleasing, non-confrontational stuff. Right?
Great. We must be real close.
You are.
Yeah.
She's comfortable with
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
you. 100%. Because like if you wanted me to do something, you would say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like after we finish recording, Olivia and I are going to wash Rachel's car for her because she told us.
Because she told us we had to.
Yeah. She said,
Yeah.
if you want to be
You
part of this
guys,
show, I
Yeah.
need my car washed.
Yeah.
You guys, please. I did go to the car wash, which was a miracle.
What?
I was on the phone with you.
Oh yeah, that's right. And my mind was blown when you
Yeah.
did it then too.
'Cause I didn't go to the
You
car
still don't
wash.
remember.
I had my last car for I think like 3 years. I didn't go to the car wash once.
Yeah.
Calvin and I do the car wash after soccer practice.
That's
usually
very cute.
He
Every
loves-
week?
Almost every week. We didn't the week a couple weeks ago because the hurricane was coming. He really wanted to, and I was like, I'm not gonna wash the car. It's about to rain.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you
For
don't
2
have
days.
them come to your house. Oh,
Well.
bougie Rob.
Little snobby Robbie.
I would.
Yeah.
That's a cute tradition, though. I feel like
That
kids
is.
like that.
Do you let your
Yep.
kids eat in your car?
Nope.
Okay, this
You
is the
do.
thing.
I've found
Oh my god,
so much food in your car.
Food in my car. I
How do
can't
you not let kids eat in the car?
I know.
I don't
I
understand
have
how that
friends like
works.
that too.
Natalie
Nicole's
does.
like that. She was just
I
like, no.
He knows he can do things in her car and not my car.
So what if you're going on
My
a
car
long
is
drive?
a full-blown mom kid car. Like, there's no way of hiding that.
Well, if we're going on a full-blown drive, he's not eating because he's going to throw up.
Right.
That's true.
So
But we don't know how Vincent's going to be.
We'll stop and eat somewhere. We're going to drive 2-3 hours at a time anyways.
I need
But
snacks and
my kids are
supplies.
snack holes.
Yeah.
Like you have to like throw snacks at
Yeah.
them 24
Yeah.
hours a day.
Well, I guess I then have a question. Calvin gets hungry before bed every night.
Oh, it's a thing.
He eats
every
so
night.
much dinner.
Yeah.
No, doesn't
and
matter.
then
Doesn't
we're
matter.
like,
They always want something right when they're supposed to go to bed.
and what do you do?
Don't
Depends.
ask me. I give it to him.
We told him that he can have, we've just implemented, you can have one more snack at 7 and that's it. Because he'll not finish his dinner, say he's full,
Yeah, of course.
want
Right.
dessert,
Right.
and then 7 o'clock,
Right.
8 o'clock rolls around and
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
going to bed and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm too hungry, I can't go to sleep.
Mhm.
I've started being proactive, like coming at him before it's almost bedtime. Like now's your chance for your last snack, and then you're gonna have to brush teeth and go to bed.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Because we're also
That's-
trying not to have a weird relationship with him and food of
Right.
like you have to finish everything on your plate,
No, of
eat
course,
till you're
of
full,
course.
but then he's hungry in an hour and a half.
Right.
all I do is feed my kids.
You have, yes.
It's
all
a
Elliot is
constant- I'm a
just
short
constant
order
snack.
Cook.
Yeah. Snack all the time.
And for the most part, I say yes every time.
You do. You say yes mostly.
Do you just
They're growing boys
do you do dessert every day?
every day.
We let it, that's I mean it's one of the first things that goes as a punishment is dessert
Right.
because
Yeah.
he loves it.
Yeah, mine's iPad. But
TV's second.
I'm a little
Yeah.
too lenient with sugar, I think.
they get one treat, one dessert after
Just for dinner. Yeah.
They get a popsicle. And I'm like, it's just fresh frozen fruit juice. Like it's really that big of a deal.
We have like a snack drawer that he can go pick out like a piece of chocolate or still have Girl Scout crap from.
I still have Girl Scout crap in the laundry room. I think I convinced Briar we're not doing it this year.
Girl
Good.
Scouts?
Yes. She kind of wanted to do it, but a lot of her friends didn't. And I'm like, well, we can just take this opportunity to do other things you want to do because it's a lot.
Like horseback riding.
No, like she's gonna do gymnastics and soccer.
That's
and tennis.
awesome.
That's what she's
That's
doing.
a lot. You can't do Girl Scouts on
No,
top
we're
of
not
that.
doing
That's
it.
too much.
But like, if part of me is like, she loved it and earning the badges. It was really sweet.
Yeah.
But it's a lot, and school's a lot, and everything else is a lot. So feel good. Feel real good about it.
What do you do with the kids being ungrateful?
Oh,
We work on gratitude a
Yeah.
lot, all the time, constantly.
So
I do
you're
start to
you're
wonder-
proactive about it so it doesn't get to that point.
I try to be. Briar's always very good about being appreciative and saying her thank yous and whatever. But then it gets to a certain point where I'm like, does she just have too much? You know?
That's how it is with Calvin, where if he doesn't get what he wants, he thinks it's unfair because he's used to
Mm-hmm.
getting things, and he gets a lot
Yeah.
but down comparing to like what we had as kids isn't
Right.
productive.
Right.
So, trying to explain to him like, hey, dude, you get music lessons, you have soccer, you have rock climbing, like
Right.
you don't get a fucking play date today, or
The friend thing, and as he gets older, it's a real thing. Or maybe it's, I don't know. It's a real thing. Like that's all my daughter wants to do every day, you know. So it's, everything's a lot. It all
I don't
becomes
have any
super
of that.
busy.
None of them.
No,
You
I
don't have
don't.
any, well, it's because Elliot doesn't have any friends.
Hey, come on.
So do you deal with him like?
We had a big issue last night, actually, because he told our nanny that he doesn't appreciate her.
Who said that?
That was the
Elliot.
language he used.
Elliot said, "I don't appreciate you." To
Yeah.
the nanny.
Yeah. And I got
And
very upset.
what was the circumstance in which he said it? though?
The circumstance was, I think she probably wanted him possibly to do something he didn't want to do, or said no to some sort of sugar or something like that.
That seems more like a flippant, like.
It was, but I was shocked that he
Yeah.
used those words, and I was so upset. And
Seems
I
like he's just mimicking you, though, or someone else. I don't.
no.
You think he fully acknowledges?
No,
that,
I called her over and I hugged her and I was like, I want you to know how much we appreciate you. And like, we talked to Elliot about that. Like,
Was there like a consequence or anything for him saying that?
there was a consequence. He doesn't get his iPad this weekend, which is
Ooh, that's more of a
he
punishment
only
for you.
gets his
I know. I hate
iPads
that punishment.
on the weekends.
Yeah.
And
iPads, multiple.
no, I'm sorry. I have 2 kids, so I'm thinking iPads. They only get their iPad on the weekend. So he does not get it this weekend. Yeah. It's going to be a rough weekend for me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
I know, but I
you
need
have to
that.
I know it's so hard. You have to stick to those things.
Nothing. He doesn't care about anything else.
That's how Cal.
Like
but
if I'm like, you can't have a popsicle tonight, he'll be like, okay. But if I say you don't get an iPad this weekend, that's going to
yeah, but aren't you supposed to reinforce with positive things versus negative?
Well, I've tried that. And the thing
That's what they
is,
say.
That's what I know. That's what they say. It's a harder.
that's what they say. But I think that at this point, like Jeff was like last night, and Jeff was like, look, he needs consequences because oftentimes we try and go around it and we try and do positive reinforcement. And I tried to take the focus off of Elliot and give it to Anna and really model what it looks like to appreciate someone and give him the example of that. But at a certain point, he's been being so mean to me every day. Like when I tell him it's bedtime or brush your teeth or whatever. And so Jeff's like, enough is enough. Like there has to be a consequence for his behavior.
He's in school right now?
Yeah.
I did read that it's better if the kids are good at school and then dealing with
I've heard that.
backlash.
Yeah.
when you're
I've
at
heard that
home,
too.
And that it's because he's spending 8 hours a day trying to stay in line. And
Yeah.
he's going to lash out at home where he's comfortable.
And he feels safe.
Yeah.
Right.
He feels safe to do it. And
Right.
it's better
Feels
he's doing
safe.
it there than at school, but it doesn't make it any easier to deal with.
No,
No.
it's really his tone to me that's an issue. He talks to me like he's a teenager.
That's how Calvin's gotten.
What? Already?
Yeah. Natalie had like a horrible day with him today.
Oh, I feel her. Does he do it to you?
No, he's pretty good with me.
He doesn't do it to Jeff either. I don't understand that. I don't get that. I guess it's because they feel the safest.
Yeah.
The-
It's
Moms?
with the mom, maybe. I don't know. I have the same thing.
I mean, it's also because she's dealing with it more than I am.
That's what I say. I'm like, the reason he's doing
It's
it
just
to
a
me is because
it's a
I'm the
quantity
one
game.
saying, get up, brush your teeth, 5 more minutes,
Right.
all the things,
We do
all
those
the
things
time.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
True. It is rough.
Does Briar ever come with teenage sass?
I don't know if I'd call it teenage sass, but we've had things recently where if she starts like acting a certain way or, complaining or whatever, and I'll be like, fine, well, you're not gonna, that's fine. You just don't have to go, or you just don't get this or whatever. You're being so hard. And I'm like,
Yeah.
am I? Because
Calvin keeps
You
saying
know?
he wants to go live somewhere else. Like
Elliot
all my
says
other
that too.
friends get to do this. Like I want to go live at Wolfie's house.
aw,
Yeah.
And I was
we have a
like,
Wolfie
Natalie
at
was
our
like,
school.
all right, go.
Yeah.
Right.
We do that too. I'm like, that's okay. You can go find other people to live with. I'll cuddle Shepherd at night. And then he's like,
Oh, you do
Oh,
that.
that's low blow.
he knows I'm teasing. And he'll be like, I don't want to go anywhere. And I'm like, I didn't think you did. Because they don't
Yeah,
want to go
no,
anywhere.
of course not.
Elliot tells me I'm mean every day. You're just so mean. I'm like, no, you need to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
Like, it's just facts.
Yeah. I would,
It's annoying.
Briar's she's
Easy.
Yeah, she is.
Mhm.
She is. So when we have our moments, it feels that much more monumental because it's usually so easy,
Yeah.
She's very agreeable. She listens really well.
Yeah,
And so
she's
like when
sweet.
if she's tired or whatever, and we have our moments, they feel a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, she called me rough.
Yeah.
I'm never rough, but that was her word to describe, like, if I say something that's like, well, you're not going to get to do this then.
Oh, you know what Shepard's doing lately, which
What?
is so awful. It's so bad. He tells me and Anna, I hate you.
Oh.
And you can't even understand, like, no one would know he's even saying hate. He's like, I hate you. And he said, I hate school. I'm going to break it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he told me I hate you. And I'm learning. I have someone coming to my house to teach me how to deal with it. But it's still hard. Like, I don't like the way it feels.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think he knows what it means? Like,
I
understands?
think he knows it's a
I know
strong
it's like a strong
dislike.
feeling about angry or whatever.
Yeah. Ba-cha-ba-cha-bum, ba-cha-bum-bum.
Yeah.
No, okay.
That was Olivia rapping.
That was me rapping.
You guys,
All right.
this has been really fun. Rob,
It's so fun.
everyone gets to see Rob's face still. I
Look
just
at
wanna
that little face.
I just want to pay a little tribute to the Wizard of Broads from coming out from behind the curtain.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that
Thanks,
for us.
Rob.
All right. See you guys next week.
Oh, he's
Okay.
like getting nervous.
Mm,
He's
getting a little
getting nervous.
nervous.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.